that bring in technologies that help us find those templates, find those hundreds of the backends, the thousands of the backends that will navigate that will drive up performance, that will make us win again. Major operation. We have an 88 site here at Grove. We have 600 people working on site.
BT has delivered an entire factory network which allows us to work through the whole life cycle of the Formula One car, from aerodynamics to design to manufacturing, and then feed it all back into racing engineering. BT has provided a secure international human from every racetrack in the world back to the factory.
Talking about 60 to 80 people for the race weekend. We contact obviously with the guys at the track, the engineers office there in the middle, Malcolm and DK's first, so I can talk to any individuals, similar people in football or engineering.
Fixed mobile convergence solution, BT1 allows engineers to be contactable wherever they are. They need to be constantly reacting to every circumstance. BT's advice and guidance is absolutely available across the whole landscape of IT challenges with social, mobile, analytics, cloud, where to put the data, how to make sure it's secure.
There's no doubt that it gives us a significant advantage to have communications at that kind of level.
BT have played a really important part of our transformation.
It is all about people and
They've been hiding.
And I think that's really exciting and interesting for the where to take advantage and benefit from a huge amount of technology and innovation that BT do.
If we don't have those partnerships, they are our lifeblood. We don't go anywhere.
BT is passionate about technology. Williams is passionate about performance. And I think it's good to realize that two passionate companies is fantastic. It's really nice to be part of it.
Come to a racetrack and you hear a car fire up for the first time, the blood pumps a bit faster. You have to have the right people in place if you're going to create a winning team.
We race around the globe and we have a global partner who's an expert in airfield, BT brings us.
BT provides solutions, gives us a 100 meg link from any track, anywhere in the world, back to our base here in Rome. A Williams Formula One car has around 200 sensors, generating a huge amount of telemetry.
We need to make decisions on the data in real time. Exactly so much motion that they can see something fit them.
So if you break too late or if you break too early, they see straight away. So everything you're doing, they're watching.
Network security is critical. Putting in layers of security that protect both the Formula One infrastructure as well as our customer data.
We're talking about 60 to 80 gig of data plus another 60 gig of video, over 1,000 channels and 2 racing cars.
By being able to flow the data back to the factory in near real time, we're able to analyze it and get results back to the track. It's an incredible step forward for our engineers. Ride acceleration plays a really important part in terms of we prioritize the track with the voice, so that when our engineers are talking about it, it's a very natural conversation.
We've had latencies 5 seconds in Champions League, but now latencies 2/10 of a second.
The track will kill the second track. Engineers can communicate with real time by using the operation tools.
That's going to help us find those hundreds of seconds, the thousands that will drive up performance.
After the race, we can do this all the time.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. We were going to wait a few minutes, but we'll let the people who are late embarrassingly wander in. Welcome to the wonderful Industrial Park, home of BT Labs and the heart of BT's global research and innovation for what I can tell you will be an action-packed day, or afternoon at least. So a very warm welcome to Innovation 2017. As some of you might recognise, my name is Lawrence Delalio. We like to think that both the presenters and the audience have got better and better as the week's gone on. So we started with Austin Healey. We finished. We had Craig Doyle in the middle. We now have myself and probably someone even better. And the audience has got better and better as well. Just a quick show of hands. How many of you actually work here on site at Industrial Park, please? Quite a few of you. Less than half, I would say. Maybe some just didn't put their hands up. Right, a little bit of housekeeping. We've got a lot going on. As I said, it's an amazing opportunity for you to really see some of the things that are showcased across the BT business, because we often get quite focused on what we're delivering ourselves, and it's just lovely to take some time and remind ourselves and feel proud and hopefully bathe in the reflected glory of some of the amazing things that are happening right across the business, and particularly here at Industrial Park. So a little bit of housekeeping from me, so bear with me. I know you've got my full attention, or I've got your full attention. Industrial Park has its own fire and rescue emergency team, so if in case there is a fire or an emergency, then either find a member of BT staff, or there is a number to call, which is not 999, as you might imagine. It is 01473 643333. You can remember that. You've done well. Anyway, that's enough from me. Temporary structures here, so if there is a fire alarm, or there'll be a horn rather than the fire alarm. Obviously, for those who like a puff, there's no smoking in here, please. Or vapes, do it all outside in the designated smoking areas. And if you haven't already, there's a wonderful app called Innovation 2017, which you can download. For those who are digitally minded and like all of that stuff, it tells you exactly where you need to go, what you need to do. There's a chance for you to give feedback, etc., etc. So, as I mentioned, enough from me. It gives me great pleasure to introduce on stage BT's Managing Director, Tim Whitley, who is going to talk to you a little bit about what's happening across Innovation Week. Tim, thank you.
Cheers, Lawrence. Thank you very much indeed. And good afternoon, everybody. Fabulous to see it's so full. We're on our way to about 5,000 people through this event by the time we close tomorrow. That looks like what we're going to achieve. Brilliant to have you all here. And of course the main event is through that way and in the stands around us, so I'll be fairly short on the stage. But Gavin started the event at the start of the week. We've had press, we've had public affairs guests, so members of civil service, government officials and the like. We've had investors, we've had analysts, and most importantly we've had getting over about 1,500 or so of our customers. So a really busy week, and brilliant that you get an opportunity to come and see this stuff this afternoon. What I thought I'd do is quickly share with you the messages that Gavin shared with all those different sets of audiences, and I've been sharing with the folk as we go through the week. That begins, of course, by describing what this place is. Now, for the slightly less than half of you who work here, forbearance please, you know this, right? But for the visitors, this is BT's Global Engineering Headquarters. It's BT's biggest site, 100 acres, about 3,000 BT people here. It's also a UK operations centre. We're very proud, aren't we, to note that we run the largest network on planet Earth. We're in 180 countries and territories. That's managed and operated 24/7 from this centre, as are many of our UK networks. So we're an operations centre. We're also the largest test and integration facility in Europe. So that's basically all the reference models, the test models, which allow us to put new technology through its paces before unleashing it into the real world and using it to deliver great services for our customers. And we are a national centre of digital significance, if you will. This started as a BT centre over 40 years ago as our labs, and it's evolved into all the things I've just described. But it's now also a major tech cluster, getting on for about 100 high-tech companies here, some of them big global brands, global leaders in their own rights, Cisco, Nokia, Huawei, Intel, and a range of mid-sized companies that you can meet, and a range of tiny little startup companies with great ambition who want to become big businesses. So we're a proper tech cluster, getting on for 900 people working on this site who don't have a BT badge, they have a badge of one of those other businesses. And we host a lot of people here. It's brilliant to have so many BT people here. Annually, we'll have in excess of 50,000 non-BT visitors. People with business problems or opportunities for which they think innovation and technology might be the solution. That's what we do here for BT, but it's what we also do here for the nation. Now, this week was very carefully timed. You will remember back in Monday, seems a long time ago for those of us who've been delivering this week, Monday was the 12th of June. And the 12th of June is a very important date in the BT calendar, and it's actually a very important date in the history of our industry. Because it was on the 12th of June 180 years ago, 1837, that the two characters behind me did something special. They filed a patent. It was a patent for the world's first practical electric telegraph. The two characters were interesting in their own right. One became an academic, a professor, a fellow of the Royal Society, a very famous professor at King's University in London, a guy called Charles Wheatstone. The other was a businessman, is what it says if you read the historical chronicles. Today, we call him an entrepreneur, a guy called William Fothergill Cook. Might be here, part of our tech cluster, might be over in Cambridge or down in London in Tech City. And these two characters had this passionate vision. They had this idea that you could take the fundamental science that Michael Faraday had recently discovered, he was a contemporary of theirs, and actually use it to do something profound, to communicate over distance. Remember, in 1837, that was before the penny black. It was before postal. The penny post had been invented. It was 8 days before Queen Victoria came to the throne. But they had this crazy idea that you could harness science, combine it with engineering, and give communication over distance to the nation. They gave time to a nation. Their first application was providing timing for the rail system here in the UK. They genuinely helped to power the Industrial Revolution. And 9 years later, it was these two that founded the Electric Telegraph Company, the oldest telecommunications company on planet Earth, and the company from which BT is directly descended. It is the story that underpins our claim to be descended from the oldest telecoms company in the world. Great story. A story of innovation, entrepreneurship combined to do something profound for our nation. That's where we began 180 years ago. It was our 180th birthday on Monday. We should have had a cake. It's something to put on the list next time. And down the years, the company's been really passionate about repeating that trick. The first time humans on this planet communicated in real time, as in spoke, between North America and Europe was back in 1926. It was wireless, and it was the work of Post Office Engineering Research and AT&T Bell Labs. A year later, they launched the first transatlantic voice service. 1968 was the first digital telephone exchange. The first time a mobile data call was made to the internet, if you like. That's become quite popular now, isn't it, I believe? I think that's something people do quite a lot. That was 1999. That's on our list of achievements down the years. So we've got a proud history. One that is particularly relevant to this site is this date in 1984. This is when the world's first single-mode optical fibre system went live. Went live between Milton Keynes and Luton, here in the UK. And it was as a result of pioneering research, not invention actually. This was a scouted technology. Single-mode optical fibre was invented by a bloke called Charles Kao, graduate of UCL, working in the east of England here for a vendor, long gone actually, but one of the vendors in the ecosystem. It was his idea. But this lab recognised it as the future first, and it was this lab in the early 80s that did all the hard engineering work to take a brilliant idea and turn it into reality. And that's this stuff, this single-mode optical fibre. These hair-thin strands of glass. First trials were Kesgrave, Martlesham, Woodbridge, Ipswich, and the commercialisation of this, first time any company on planet Earth had achieved it, led to that result. And it's worth pointing out that that UK innovation, that East of England innovation, that Suffolk innovation, is the very fabric of our modern digital connected world. Everything we do in our connected lives, all the things we do in personal life and business life, rides this stuff, single-mode optical fibre. I think an inspirational story and a beautiful example of purposeful innovation, science, engineering to do something profound. And of course, we're still